Douglas, as we've been saying on this program for some time, Australia is fast becoming an outlier. We're blindly following the gender affirming model without any thorough investigation of the many harms identified in the UK. It's really a question of political courage, and sadly, our supposedly conservative politicians in this country lack the backbone to push back against this ideology. Now, Douglas, I want to ask you about Scotland. What is happening in Scotland? They've passed a new hate crime bill that will create new offences of stirring up hatred against protected groups, with even conversations that take place in the privacy of homes around the dinner table now under the law. So a person could be charged with a hate crime for something they say during a dinner party. Something to look forward to, Douglas?
Yes, absolutely. Book your tickets to Scotland now, Rita. It's an extraordinary thing, not least to happen in the country that, of all the Enlightenments, gave us what I regard as being the greatest of the Enlightenments. Scotland produced some of the finest philosophers of the 18th and 19th centuries. They gave us free markets, free thought, and much more. To see Scotland, my own Scotland, reduced to this is really pitiful. And there's a lot to be said for it. But one thing, of course, Rita, is people try out ideas around the dinner table. People make jokes around dinner tables, and people have a laugh around dinner tables. And as I say, they form ideas. They try things out. That may be different from speaking on air or speaking to a rally. It is different. Now, whether or not anything on air or to a rally at an event should be policed is quite a separate question. I don't think it particularly should. But around a dinner table, the amazing thing about this, Rita, is that all of the people who would do this, we have to ask that same question that my late great friend Christopher Hitchens beautifully put in Toronto in 2006, when the Canadian government was pushing through speech laws that would police the speech of Canadians, which is essentially the question is, who would you nominate to be the person in your society so right, so correct, so just, and so good that they could decide what you or I or anyone else is allowed to think and read, and on this occasion, say around our own dinner table? Who's your nominee? Do you have anyone? I don't have anyone, Rita. I could never come up with such a person. There are brilliant people. There are kind people. There are well-read people. But who would be the person who you would nominate to decide what could be said at any dinner table and all dinner tables in the land? And the answer is there is no such person. We tried this sort of thing in Europe in the past. We tried having inquisitions. We tried having a clerical class who decided for the better of the public what the public could know, read, and say. It didn't work out. And the Scottish Enlightenment, among other things, freed the people of Scotland and the world from those kinds of superstitions. And yet here we are, it seems, back again. And so it'll only be stopped if enough people say, no, this isn't Scotland and this isn't freedom.